Okay, I'm Eleni Stroulia. I'm the set and costumes designer for the Greek team, doing a wonderful project Landscapes of Devastation for the National Theatre of Northern Greece.
And I'm Tatiana Liani. I teach comparative literature at the School of Drama at the University of Thessaloniki, and I'm doing the historical research for this program.
Well, I've been working with our director, Prodromos Simikoris, for more than a decade, and it's been mostly documentary theater work. So Prodromos has been discussing this program for long with Martin, and they came up with this idea, and they also managed to go through all the practical issues and make this reality. And he told me about the project, and I was obviously really enthusiastic, and I said, well, yes, let's do this.
I was doing a project named Art and Memory, commemorating the 18th anniversary of the expulsion of Jews of Thessaloniki, with the School of Drama and with the funding from the German Embassy. And we organized many events like performances, walking tours, a conference, podcast. So Prodromos heard about these events, he came to participate, and then he approached me to be part of this great project, which of course I immediately accepted. The Jews of Thessaloniki have a long history in the city, very long history, as they are in fact the Jews of mainly of Spain and Portugal, and later Italy, who fled to Thessaloniki, which was then part of the Ottoman Empire. And for the longest period, for many centuries, they formed the majority of the population of the city until the beginning of the 20th century. After the Holocaust, their memory was completely erased from collective memory, from the history books, from everywhere. And it was only after 60 years, in 2000, that it started to resurface. So we wanted very much to be part of this remembrance project, because we felt it was really important to bring back this so unjust forgotten population of Thessaloniki.
And I would like to say that for me it was such a surprise. I've been in Thessaloniki. I've been traveling to Thessaloniki quite often, and I've lived there for short periods of time, and I had no idea of this whole history. I mean, I knew there was a Jewish community in the city. I knew this community vanished during the World War II. But I had no idea really of the extent of the catastrophe and the real events. So this is what's interesting for me. It's something that I was there, I've been in the city, and I never really knew this part of the city's history. Well, I think obviously I will quote something from Plato, what's the right pronunciation? He says all knowledge is memory, and all ignorance is oblivion. So it's obviously so important to remember, to know the history, what happened, not just as a general knowledge or a part of our education, but so that we're able to judge and really in depth observe what's happening right now in our society, in our world. And so we're living in times of turbulence, and I think it's so important that we know what our communities have been through and what has happened to bring us here where we are now.
And I really think that, especially in Thessaloniki, it's very important to remind the young people that it was once a multicultural cosmopolitan, open city, which was then turned into a very nationalist city, very narrow-minded, very frightened against anything that isn't Greek. So we hope that this project will also help make the people of the town know their past and better think about their future.
Well, for me, it's been a great experience, specifically to meet with Stas and Pavlo, who are coming from Ukraine, and they're doing the German project. Because there we see that there is still a war going on in our world today. There are still problems of issues of violence that we have to deal with. So this really made a deep impression on me, because it somehow validated what I already thought, that we have to deal with history in order to be able to deal better with the issues of today.
Yeah, for me it was a great experience. It was really very rewarding to be with people from different countries, from all ages, and talk with them and hear from them and learn with them their history, their past, their problems, their thoughts about the future, and also observe how they work in creative ways. But for me, yes, of course, and the hospitality of the Spanish team was amazing. But for me, I think the highlight was also the meeting of our friends from Ukraine, because it's completely different when you are in Greece and read about these things in the papers or watch the news. But when you hear these stories from people who have actually lived with them, is something that makes it even more serious for us to work towards not having things like this again. For me, my great idol Bertolt Brecht always thought that theater can change society and can change the world, and I totally agree with this.
Yeah, and for me, theater is like it's not just knowledge, it's not just information, but it's an experience. When you watch a theater show, it is an experience, so it can have so much bigger impact than even reading a book, which is of course also very important, or reading something in the newspapers, or having a discussion. Theater is can be very personal, a very personal experience.
Yes, because you get to feel things.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.